Good evening. This is Monday, October 26th at 6 o'clock. The virtual meeting, special call meeting of the Sumter School District Board of Trustees. All persons wishing to attend this virtual meeting may do so via YouTube, Sumter School District Board Meetings, and Sumter School District Facebook page. Due to COVID-19 and in compliance with recent public health orders, no members from the public will be able to attend the meeting in person. This meeting is held in accordance with the Freedom of Information Act. The news media has been notified and a copy of the agenda has been made available to the public. All of our members are present in the boardroom for tonight's meeting. We will pause now for a meditative thought to be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen of the board, it's my pleasure to welcome each of you for this special call meeting this evening. The agenda is before you for approval on consensus unless there is an objection. If there is no objection, the agenda will stand approved. Item 1.2, board member recognition. Madam Superintendent.
That's actually not the Baker.
Don't touch that gavel and try to gavel me back. The board recognition tonight is for no other than you. Since this is your last official meeting, our board wanted to recognize you. And I just want to make a few comments and then I'll yield to my fellow board members. You and I go way back, and I have always admired your willingness to always contribute in any way to serve our community. Always a willing public servant, and when it comes to this school district, always wanted to do what was in the best interest for our children. I know during my tenure as superintendent and you as a board member, one of the visions that you had for this district was improving and expanding instructional technology component. I believe you had gone to a conference and came back with some ideas, and you shared those ideas. And because of your diligence and your follow-through, our district now is really a district to be looked up to when it comes to instructional technology. And that goes back to your vision and you wanting to see that move forward in our district. And you haven't just stopped with the district most recently, you was encouraging this board to speak to county leaders about expanding broadband. Now, we think that's going to be something that's going to come to Sumter County, but you are already ahead of the curve, and you are encouraging this board to speak to our elected officials to be sure that we encourage that to come, and again, as a better service tool for our children in the areas where you do not have access to that. Also, whenever it comes to being a public servant, we all know that it takes a lot of your personal time. And we all know that often our families sort of have to sacrifice because your time is taken from your family. And I just want to run a few things by you and see if you can give ownership to where these remarks may be coming from. Have you seen my glasses? 2 o'clock in the morning. Please proofread this and tell me what you think. I have something to tell you. They asked me to help with a very important project, and I said yes, after saying no to no more projects. Again, your willingness to be a public servant. And the last one, and this one is classic, I'll be downstairs in 5 minutes for dinner. 40 minutes later, oh, I'm sorry, someone called me. And all of those things except the glasses piece, you needed the glasses to see what you were doing, goes back to your willingness to serve and do for others and reach out to others and solicit ideas from others and then be able to concretely compose all that and bring it back to tie it into whatever the mission project might be for one of these organizations or going back to the school district. And we just appreciate you. We appreciate your leadership that you have given this district, particularly the last 2 years serving as the chairman of this board. And I think we have made many strides under your leadership and as a school board. And of course, one of our big accomplishments was our new superintendent. And of course, one of the things that we will be working on tonight will be her evaluation. So we just appreciate what you do, not only for the school district, but what you do for the community. Now, at this time, I'm going to yield to any of my fellow board members who would like to make a comment.
Dr. Kennedy, I'll start by saying that you and I started this journey, Consolidated School Board, 2010, and we had some moments where we were in agreement and some moments where we were in disagreement. I say, but through it all, you have a heart of a servant. And so I bid you Godspeed and enjoy working with you, on this consolidated board. And we're trying to, this current board, trying to keep the momentum, the vision, and going in support of our superintendent. Thank you.
Dr. Kennedy, it's been a pleasure to be a member of this board, to come onto this board, and to serve on this board as a member, but also as a member of the community, growing up and hearing of your name as a pillar of the community. So it's been an honor to serve, and I wish you well in your next endeavors.
Dr. Kennedy, I've known you for a long time and of course worked with your wife, but I just want you to know I've really enjoyed really getting to know you and working with you on the board these 2 years.
Dr. Kennedy, I appreciate your leadership and your guidance, and I will definitely miss the voice. You have such a presence, and that is important for a leader, and I really miss your grace. Thank you.
My pastor. I too shall miss you. I've enjoyed working with you. You and I have been aligned almost always on this board when there are decisions to be made. And I appreciate your service to the community. And it just didn't start yesterday. You had a long history of service to our community and our school children. And I appreciate this opportunity to work with you. And I know you're leaving this, but you will go on to do other things for the betterment of our community. And we're counting on you to work from the outside to continue the work that you've been doing. And I shall miss you both personally and professionally, and I thank you.
Reverend Canty, I echo what the fellow board members have already said. Thank you for your service. I worked with you prior to this, and I want to say I admire your work as a man of service in our community, and I wish you the best.
Dr. Canty, Ralph Canty, Ralph, all of those names, you know, we go way, way, way back. When I say way, way, way back, I can remember Ralph on the hay rides, coming out there around the corner from where I live with Miss Pringle on the back of a truck, with his breast overalls on and his big heavy shoes on. Ralph was the son of the younger son of older brothers and sisters, like I was. I was the younger daughter of a lot of them. But those were moments that I've always, when I met Ralph, I found him one way, and today I still find him that way. We will never stop interfacing unless you leave this face of the earth, and you're not leaving right now, and I'm not either. So I just bid you Godspeed. It has been a joy working with you, and one thing that we've always said, let's agree, the one thing that we can disagree, but we will never be disagreeable. Thank you for all that you've done, and your name is a household name around Sumter, and I know that your presence will not be missed because you still will be in and out always. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Reverend Canty, first of all, I want to thank you for your service to our district, but also to Sumter County. And also thank you for being willing to join in on the consolidation of our two former districts into what we have built today.
Now.
Yes.
So, Reverend Dr., Mr. Chairman, sir, let me just commend you for who you are as a human being, as a man, and as a leader. What I most admire about you is your gentleman qualities, your voice, and most of all, the chuckle that many people don't see or hear. I will be eternally grateful to you for giving me the opportunity to lead the school district in the community that you most love. So thank you for all that you've done, and I know that you will continue to have your hand in the works in our community. So just say thank you.
And Reverend Canty, this is a small token of our appreciation to you from the board, and there is something attached to the back of this card, so be sure to check that out. And we would like for you to open this shoe box and see the pair of shoes.
Pair of shoes.
Oh, that's nice.
It's not a pair of shoes.
Yeah, that's not a pair of shoes.
Oh, boy, isn't that wonderful?
Oh, wow.
Isn't that nice?
Oh,
Isn't that nice?
Open it up.
Now open it up.
is it a gavel?
Oh, I did not prepare any remarks, and I got a clue when I saw the agenda that you guys had something planned, and I want to thank you for it. A reflection or two. 2 years ago, I was elected chairman of this board by one vote. By one vote. I think it's very important that I lift that up in this season when we are just days now from electing a president for this country, a board member for this school district, and a host of others. One vote is important. And I speak primarily to those of you in the public tonight. Do not take the sacred trust of your vote for granted, because your one vote may determine what will happen in the next 2 years in this boardroom, what will happen over the next 4 years in this country. Be vigilant, exercise your right, because in my view, next to your soul, there's nothing more important than your personhood. And your personhood is validated by your participation in the democratic process. My second salute to you, my fellow board members, because it did not matter to you whether it was one vote or 50 votes. Once the votes were cast, you circled the camp. It was no longer an issue. You have worked with me in ways that the public probably will never know. In my opinion, this board is perhaps as civil or more civil than any school board in South Carolina. We have the maturity to differ, but yet not lose our cool or lose our relationship with each other. And so we rose above that night of tension, and we've risen above other tensions. And we have used our differences as healthy debates, as we have struggled to make this district the ideal district for our children and for this community. I want to also say that in my view, there are 4 wonderful candidates seeking the seat that I now hold. I would not endorse anyone because I don't think I have any particular right or privilege to the seat. But I do believe that either one of them will bring a strength of character and intellect that will further the cause of excellence and scholarship in this district. And I'm excited about being here that night when that person is installed to represent us all. And I've said to those candidates who have reached out to me, and I say to you tonight, my counsel may not be much, but it's available. I go back now to my public seat, but if at any time I can give any support or assistance to this school district, to the superintendent, to our teachers, the staff, and most especially to our children, I will be there. I say to you, and I say to the public, and I'm finished. I talk in brief when I have a written statement. Let's not strive to preserve institutions that served us well in the past. Let's give up our idolatry to the past, and let's give all of our vision and energy and strength to creating new systems for the future. Systems that will improve the quality of the services that we provide. Systems that will produce greater scholars among our constituents. Let's be about tomorrow, and let's let yesterday stay where it is. God bless you, and I love you all. Thank you.
Amen.
I guess I should have also said I apologize not only to you but to others who I may have offended across these 12 years. But we came through all of that, and we're the best of friends. Frankly, especially you.
Thank you.
All right, especially you. I take pride in the fact that we are what we were before we ever got together on this board. We were friends then, and we're friends now. All right?
Yep.
All right. Okay. Item 2, I'm very emotional. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Not to take away from the recognition, but I need to congratulate McGaney on his upcoming retirement.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. When do you retire? Huh?
Friday will be my last day.
Oh,
Friday.
good.
Friday. After how many years?
26 years.
26 years. Well, let's okay. All right. Item 2, executive session. Is there a motion?
Motion to enter into executive session.
Mr. Chairman.
For what purpose?
Oh, for the purpose of enter into executive session for the 2019-20 superintendent's evaluation and receipt of legal advice pertaining to contractual matters.
Second.
It's motion and second that we would enter into executive session for the purpose of the 2019-20 superintendent's evaluation and receipt of legal advice pertaining to contractual matters. We voting electronically.
Yes, sir, it's unanimous. With yours and Dr. Baker's votes, it's unanimous. With yours and Dr. Baker's votes, it's unanimous.
Okay. All right, it is unanimous, thank you. We'll enter into executive session. Upon consensus, we will come out of executive session at this time. Item 4 on the agenda, action required for the board. I will be making this public statement. This evening, the Board of Trustees met in executive session to discuss its initial annual job performance evaluation of Superintendent Penelope Martin Knox. The 2019-20 school year was Dr. Martin Knox's first full year as our school district's superintendent. It is clear that her confidence has grown over the school year as her knowledge of our district increased. As chairman, on behalf of my fellow board members, I wish to announce that Dr. Martin Knox received an overall positive evaluation. The board has confidence in Dr. Martin Knox's ability to lead the district. Dr. Martin Knox is working hard to improve the district's interactions with students, employees, parents, and the community as a whole. The board believes Dr. Martin Knox is working very hard to improve the education of our children and providing excellent leadership to the district. Her leadership style is very well received by those around her, and staff members have great respect for her. Dr. Martin Knox has a clear vision for students' educational needs, and we believe the learning environment will continue to expand under her leadership. My colleagues and I also want to commend Dr. Martin Knox for the countless hours she spent in 2019-20 getting to know business and community leaders and leaders of the faith community. Again, we appreciate her services and we look forward to her continued excellence in this task. Is there a motion regarding the superintendent's evaluation?
Mr. Chairman, after considering Dr. Martin Knox's 2019-20 update presented during our October 5th, 2020 meeting, and considering the board members' comments regarding Dr. Martin Knox's performance during our executive session discussion, I move that we conclude as a board that Dr. Martin Knox receive an overall positive evaluation for the 2019-20 school year.
So moved.
Dr. Baker made the motion.
Support. The motion is supported. Is there any discussion? Seeing that there is none, all who support the motion will indicate with a show of hands. Those who oppose by the same sign. It was a unanimous vote, Dr. Martin Knox. And again, thank you very much for leading our district.
Thank you, sir.
Well, my fellow board members and to my fellow citizens of Sumter County, we come to the last item on the agenda tonight, and that is item 5.1, closing remarks. It is not unusual for this statement to be on our agenda. But tonight, it's somewhat different. This board will continue to meet and will have a closing statement from its chair. But tonight, this moment sort of represents my swan song. This is the end of the rainbow, the end of the journey for me. I'm grateful to the people of my district who elected me to serve 12 years ago. And as best I can recall, I'm still on record in this county as the only person elected to public office who never really applied as a candidate, but was a write-in candidate for the office. Tried to give my best of service, and for these last 2 years, I served as chair. The work of this school district will continue because there are able men and women who sit around this table who have the best interest of our children and this community at heart. I just want to challenge each of you, my board members and the public, tonight. Do not allow circumstances to overwhelm you. Don't ever allow the problems to get the better hand. We're going through quite an ordeal with a pandemic, but we must learn the lessons from the past and not allow our problems to determine our destiny. Instead, we must be creative enough to develop solutions that make us as a people stronger and more viable. There was a time in human history when there was rain for the first time. That rain created a flood that could have annihilated the human family but mankind created an ark and survived the flood. In similar fashion, we must find that vessel, that instrument, that tool to defeat this giant that's in our land, and educating our children and going to another level and not allowing anything to hold us back must continue to be our purpose and our driving force. We must not ever lose our vision. We must not ever lose our creativity. And together, we must make our world a better place. And again, our district, the very best district it can be. With that said, good night, ladies and gentlemen. This meeting is adjourned.